All right, guys, the next step in our graphing journey here, if you want to call it that, is standard form. Okay, we talked about graphing using tables. We talked about slope-intercept form. Now we're going to talk about standard form. Okay, this is the second of three forms that we're going to learn. All right, the first thing I'm going to show you here or talk to you about is numbers in standard form, which are A, B, and C. All right, they are what we call integers. We've talked about integers before, and basically, guys, that just means the numbers in the problem are nice and neat. Okay, so if you take a look at the problems, all right, they're nice, neat numbers. They can be positive, they can be negative, but they are nice and neat. The second thing that you notice about standard form is that the x and the y are going to be together on the same side. Okay, so those are the two things that are going to kind of give away that it's in standard form. I'm going to show you two different ways to do these. You're going to pick the way that you're most comfortable with. I'm going to tell you right now, it's probably in your best interest to learn it this way, which is going to be rewrite in y equals mx plus b, just because this way works every single time. The way I'm going to show you over here, number 7, which is called hide the y, hide the x, which basically is going to help us find the intercepts. It's not always going to be nice and neat for us over here. So this is your best bet. But like I said, you go with what you're most comfortable with. Okay, so I'm going to take a look at number 6 first. Okay, number 6, I got 4x minus 5y is equal to negative 20. So I'm going to rewrite this in y equals mx plus b. So I'm going to get the y by itself. We talked about this when we were making charts. I move the x. That's always our first step, move the x. So I got negative 5y is equal to negative 4x minus 20. And then you divide by the coefficient of y. Divide by the coefficient of y. Divide everything by the coefficient of y. So I got y is equal to a negative divided by a negative is a positive. So these negatives actually cancel each other out. All right, 4 over 5 I'm going to leave as a fraction because it doesn't divide evenly, and that's okay because that's going to be my slope. X, a negative divided by a negative, that gives me a positive 4. Okay, so if we go back to slope-intercept form, there's my intercept. So my intercept is 0, 4. And then my slope is 4 over 5. Now, if you notice, something interesting happens here. If I went to rise 4 and run 5, I go off the grid. That's no good. So in this problem, I'm actually forced to go backwards. So instead of rising 4 this way and running 5 this way, I'm actually going to go down 4 and left 5. All right, which is fine. Connect my dots, got a line, smack a label on it, and you're done. Okay. Over here in number 7, hide the y, hide the x. Okay, when we say hide the y, we're going to look at the equation. We're going to almost pretend the y isn't even there. So I have 2x is equal to 10. Divide both sides by 2. X is equal to 5. That's my x-intercept. Your x-intercept for this problem would be 5, 0, which is right there. When you hide the x, it's the same thing, just the other way around. Pretend the x isn't even there. So you have 5y is equal to 10. Divide both sides by 5. You would get y is equal to 2. That is your y-intercept, which would be 0, 2, which would be right there. All you need is 2 points. Got yourself a line. Okay, let me get that back. Draw a label on it. 2x. I don't know why my pen's acting kind of funny now, guys. 2x plus 5y is equal to 10. Sorry, my pen just acted a little funny there. Now, the only way that is going to work, guys, is if this number and this number are evenly divisible by that number, okay, which doesn't necessarily happen all the time. You could have used the intercepts method. You could use hide the y, hide the x over here because you had a 4 and a 5 with are both factors of 20. So you could have used that here, but that's not always going to be the case. All right, so just be careful. But like I said, use the one that you're most comfortable using. All right, this one is going to be the one that works every single time.